And my students in middle school are aware of that. I had a kid today come up to me and ask me, so this vote that's happening, this vote on 3, if I vote yes, what does that mean? Does that mean you lose your rights? And I'm like, no, no, no. If you vote yes for me, that means that you're saying, yes, I want you to keep your rights. And this kid, for them to 6th grade, to ask that question lets me know that the world is progressing. And I feel like you're part of it and I'm part of it. And I think that just getting the information out there that transgender people are humans will help. So my first question to you really about the yes on 3 vote is, in Acton, in the state of Massachusetts, has there been any increase in crime whatsoever since 2016 when this law went into effect? Has there been any increase in crime in the restrooms that are directly related to people being transgender?
We've seen none. We have seen no direct correlation to the law passing in 2016 until today. We understand that fear seems to be kind of the proponent of what they're trying to achieve as far as saying that this won't work because of that. We just haven't seen it. So if we're just going off data and research, we have seen no increase in crime, no increase in activity. The high school itself, and I applaud you for working in the school system. I think teachers probably a harder job often than police officers with the amount of work that you have to do and get to know people. We're fortunate in Acton that it's myself, Detective Keith Campbell, who's primarily in the high school at all times. I have the luxury of being able to float to our 6 elementary schools, our junior high, and a couple other behavioral high schools we have in town. So it's nice that we get to kind of stretch us all around and kind of spread that message that we're all trying to do. But the activity isn't there. The crime rate hasn't increased. Incidents in the bathroom have not been a reflection of this law. We have not seen anything different in Acton. We haven't had anything at all.
That makes me smile. I mean, I know this in my heart that transgender people go to the restroom to use the restroom. But to know that there's statistical evidence, there was a report that came out by the Williams Institute just recently that without even knowing that this study was being done, that did research in Massachusetts and has determined exactly what you just said, that there has not been any increase in crime. And that, I don't know really how to convince people that don't want to be convinced that that's the truth. So they're going to be looking at me and saying, well, yeah, but there's still the what if scenario. And that's something that 6th graders are great at also. It's like, what if this happens? What if that happens? It's like, at some point you just have to accept that if something happens illegal in a restroom, it's a crime, no matter who the person is. That hasn't changed, has it? So I'm assuming that before the law went into effect, it was illegal to be nefarious in a restroom, to do criminal behavior, and people would be prosecuted. And is it still illegal to do things like that?
Yeah, it's still illegal to do any criminal activity sanctioned by the law that we will enforce upon any bathroom or any institution when there's a crime and there's evidence of a crime, regardless of who's in that bathroom, who's in that restaurant. If you commit a crime, you commit a crime. It's not based upon your gender identity, if anything at all. It's the fact that a crime was committed. And since we haven't seen any change in that, the transgender community, when I speak with the community as a whole, they say, we want to be who we are. We want to go where we feel comfortable. And who does not? Who does not want to feel that way when they use any establishment?
Exactly not.
And our schools have already adapted to that. We already have the bathrooms set up. And then speaking with members before, they had mentioned that they would often go to the nurse's office because that was the only kind of safe space that they had. And we're better than that. We're better than that to be able to say, the bathrooms are what you identify as, and that's what we've done here in town, and I think it's spreading across the state. And the fact that if you're going to do criminal activity, you're going to do criminal activity. It doesn't matter. You can go into a bathroom and have that crime committed. What does it have to do with, people are going to sell that image, and that's what I constantly see, and the police are seeing, is that they're selling research, data, and statistics that we can't back up, we can't support. Regardless of what bias you're born with or everything, you can't act upon that. The statistics show that there is no crimes being committed as a result of this.
Right, and that's one of the things that this show is for, is those people that saw those commercials that were promoting fear-mongering, saying that I'm going to do something illegal in the bathroom. but they're like, is that really correct or not? And there's those people that we're talking to right now. We're talking to those that are on the fence about, I don't know anyone transgender, but surely to goodness that there's protections for everybody. So let's say someone, this is another argument that the opponents have used. If they see something happening in a restroom and they call the police, they're saying that they will be arrested for calling the police on somebody that's using the bathroom that matches their gender identity, or if someone is doing something illegal in that bathroom. They're using the example that if a man can now just go sit in a restroom and stare at women, and if the women do anything to call the police, those women will be in trouble. And I'm like, I don't think anybody can just go sit in a bathroom and stare at people, no matter what their gender is.
Correct, and they can't. And the thing is, even speaking, I've called the district attorney's office to see if they've had an uptick in violence, and they haven't had anything to report to me as well. Let's just look at people like people. Let's just look at as humans. Let's just put it in that category. If I go into the bathroom right now, and I identify as male, and I go into this bathroom, and it's a male-assigned bathroom at the time, and another male walks in, and he just stares at me. Am I still going to say, this doesn't feel safe and secure for me? Am I going to report that? Yeah, I probably would. So to me, what does it matter? If something's happening, you feel suspicious, you feel unsafe, make a phone call and let us come and just kind of see what's going on. There's nothing wrong with reporting suspicious activity. If you feel in fear, you can call us all day and we'll respond to it and just try to figure out what the remedy is. So we have to start just sitting there and saying, it's because this person looks like that person or that. Let's just look at what is actually occurring and report that. We have suspicious activity and that person, the description is this. Please come and talk to them. Because I think if anyone follows you in the bathroom right now and just kind of stares at you or lingers, you're probably going to want to tell somebody anyway. We're under that see something, say something approach in America. So we welcome those calls.